Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale
it.
Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcast.
Let's go.
And welcome in to the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening as we roll along here. We're in the wrapped up spring games. We kind of talked about South Carolina and Clemson's last week. Alabama looked like shit in theirs. We may get into that. I don't know. Whatever else we can get into this evening. Welcome into the show. Of course, my podcast partner, he is in the upstate. He is Carolina Jackpot, Mr. Kale Hall. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing this evening? Great day. Great weekend to be a Gamecock. Not that it's ever not. But I mean, just God, I mean, sweeping a baseball series over a number 3 ranked team in the country is just absolutely amazing. Just doing insane things on the football side of recruiting. I mean, it's a great time to be a Gamecock. I mean, not that it's ever not, but I mean, it's especially great this weekend. How are you, Rob?
I'm good. We're going to talk about some schedule stuff tonight. We'll get into that momentarily. We got to thank our sponsors first. Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart. Go by and check them out, callawaysbarandgrill.com. We've also got, of course, DNC Trucking and Transport, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story, sir.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. Sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson has more football wins over the Gamecocks in Columbia than South Carolina has the entire series. Clemson's also won a national title before South Carolina won a bowl game. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
Bringing the facts tonight. All of those.
I read that with such vim and vigor, as that is so old it should be drawing Social Security by now.
But the thing is that we have to acknowledge history. That's the way that things go.
Yeah. Lisa over in the comment section says the delusion is real. What's delusional? What's delusional? I'm wondering.
Well, I mean,
hit me back up. Let me know what the delusion is.
There's no delusion in the fact that the South Carolina baseball team's playing really good baseball right now. So, I mean,
amazing.
And once again, Jackpot will be the first to tell you, though, it doesn't really matter until you get to the point
she
where
says, you. Okay, you. What? Me? What? What's the delusion? The delusion that we're number 6 in recruiting right now? I mean, has that got y'all up in your jimmies a little bit, or is it 31-30? Got you all in jimmies a little bit, or the fact that you stomped your ass
first of all,
won the Palmetto Cup again this year? Once again.
Hold on, Jackpot.
Little brother though.
Yeah, well, and look, I mean, you guys won the football game, and congratulations. That's fine.
We did 31-30.
First of all, let's evaluate something that you said, though. You're number 6 in the recruiting rankings right now. I will bet you any amount of money that you want there. You won't finish at 6. You want to go that route?
I mean, we might finish at 4.
You're not going to finish. You won't finish higher than 6. Absolutely guaranteed. Because in those current rankings, see, I have to explain to these Gamecock fans that don't understand anything about recruiting. It's early. In the current rankings, all Alabama's ranked 17th. Do you think they're going to finish ahead of South Carolina or behind them? That just shows how ignorant it is. We're 6th in the rankings right now.
Well, I mean, if you look at our average player ranking, there's only you have Ohio State and Georgia above us that have a higher player ranking right now.
Cool. So. It's still early.
I mean, it's better than being in the shitter and it being early, is it not?
And that's fine. But to sit here and put that out there, like, once again, you can hang a banner for that. You got plenty of room in that fucking shit stadium.
Oh, I'll be mad about it.
We were 6th in recruiting in April of 2023. We were 6th in recruiting.
April. That's the month, correct?
Yeah, you should hang a banner.
You can read a calendar. Should we hang a banner for that?
I can read a calendar. We can put that up there too.
Look at your Apple Watch.
Rob Sanders can read a calendar. You have plenty of room in that stadium for that too. I mean, there's plenty of room up there because you don't have any championships to talk about. So there's that. So anyway,
Deion Sanders says, "We coming."
Coming for what? Y'all are raising a lot of hell.
Championship,
third or fourth in the East to be just better than Mizzou. Y'all are raising a lot of hell about that.
No, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You're sounding like Comrade now, which is kind of funny. But
well, I mean, we lost to Mizzou last year, so I mean, I guess that means
you lose. Well,
by
Mizzou's
the fact,
a better
though, they would have
program
beaten
than
you
are.
too.
Well, if you want to go that route, that's fine. But the reality is, I know Mizzou hurts your feelings because they have twice as many SEC East titles than you do, and they've gotten the league in 2012, winning the SEC.
Well,
East
and the first year they went to it, we also stomped their ass in their place.
They were a
they can thank. You know what they can thank? They can thank the Tennessee
12,
Vols.
They went and won the East.
Or they can thank Steve Spurrier for one of those SEC East titles.
Yeah,
since he was kind of drunk at Tennessee back in 2013, decided to get drunk on Rocky Top and forget how to manage a clock. So we lost to those fuckers.
Let's read some stuff here. Where is Clemson in recruiting? Just curious. Doesn't matter. It's April. No one gives a shit. It's April. No one gives a fuck. They're not doing that well right now. They're ahead of Alabama. Is that not doing well? Oh,
well, I mean, that's the standard.
I don't want to talk about that. The standard is to be a national brand, which Clemson is. And when people think of college football, they think of the Alabamas and the Clemsons and the Georgias.
It's all about the national brand. Yesterday,
they don't think about South Carolina.
People got butthurt about it, so I took it down.
They don't think about that. They think about when it comes to South Carolina, they think women's hoops.
Yeah, people up in New York are wearing Clemson gear.
Yep, that's true. Cocky Talk says Dabo taking scholarship from walk-on. Who wants to play for a man like that? You think that Dabo Sweeney's the only coach in the country who pulled a scholarship from a walk-on?
Well, he had a full
roster,
so he can't take anybody from the transfer portal unless he does it. But then again, we know he doesn't like to use the transfer portal. He gives his coach's sons scholarships out. These no talent bums.
That's absolutely
scholarships.
You're spinning lies, sir. That is not true. His sons do not have scholarships. Stop lying.
Shane Beamer wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but that's because first of all, Shane Beamer's sons aren't in college. Second of all, they're not on scholarship. I don't understand. I mean, all you have to do is go and read. Google is free. They are walk-on players. They don't have scholarships. Holy shit, Jackpot.
Well, I know he's at his scholarship limit. That's why he can't take anybody from the transfer portal.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're not on scholarship. Cocky Talk says it's a reason none of the top high school players want to play for Clemson. Once again, another dumb statement from another dumb Gamecock fan. High school football in South Carolina is not as relevant as it is in Georgia and Florida and everywhere else. Clemson recruits across the country.
That's because there's more kids in Georgia and Florida, dummy. What's the population in them states, dummy?
Okay, and that's fine. But you know those little recruiting rankings or player rankings and all of that? The highest rated player in South Carolina is like at number 250 or something like that. And congratulations, you're going to South Carolina. He's one of your top recruits.
That's not true.
Great. We can look at it.
That's not true.
One of the highest ratings is definitely, it's not as far as high as some of the other states.
Look at Cam Pringle's rating and get back to you. That's not true.
Okay, what do you think Cam Pringle's rating is? Because we'll look it up right now.
He was 80-something.
All right, well, let's say that it's 80. That's fine. We'll say it's 80 and we'll go with the number that you have there. Clemson doesn't recruit players ranked number 80, sir.
They recruited Cam Pringle. He chose South Carolina over Clemson. So another dumb statement.
In-state recruiting is great when you're getting guys that are like Jadeveon Clowney and guys that are like that. And that's what South Carolina did. But you don't have Jadeveon Clowney in this class. Sorry about that. Anyway, we can go back and forth on that, or we could talk about these schedules. talk about these schedules. Oh, I have to put out there. Big Barney Ross did another bourbon review. It's for a bourbon called Due West. I think it's the name of it.
That's down near Greenwood, isn't it?
Due West.
That's where
That's right.
Erskine College is.
That is where Erskine College is. But the name of this bourbon is called Due West. Go and check that out. Big Barney Ross with his latest bourbon review. And he sent me another one. I got to add this up too. This is on Larceny, which is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, is what it says. Is there something that's not straight bourbon whiskey? I don't know about that. More dumb comments. Let's talk Clemson's weak sauce of a schedule. Every time a Gamecock fan talks about strength of schedule, it automatically is just dumb. I mean, just dumb. Because it's like, well,
I know, because
we're using this picked up thing. No. Yeah, this Clemson schedule will be better if they took South Carolina off of it. They don't bring anything to the schedule.
Yeah, it would be. You might be able to get another win there. Take a loss away from you.
We should play Georgia every year. It's closer to Georgia than it is to South Carolina. We give South Carolina a Super Bowl. They're never playing for anything. But
so why? I mean, you want to take that automatic L every year? I mean, with the Gamecocks,
I would much rather go into a game with Georgia and play a nationally relevant program than a shithole every year and give a team that has no hope.
And then when you lose to them,
that's fine. I'd rather carry that L from Georgia.
Lose proposition, so I get it.
I'd rather carry that L from Georgia than give South Carolina a Super Bowl. They're not worth it. They've never done anything to even warrant having a game with Clemson. When they do slip up and win a game, which they're generally flukes, it's their Super Bowl. They make Christmas ornaments for it. The guy down the street from me literally wrote 31-30 in Christmas lights on his house.
That's great.
That's how big of a thing it is.
Send me a picture of that.
Why would I do that?
Well, I would make it
you probably already have it at your house. You've got it in strobing lights at your house, probably.
No, actually, that gentleman's more ingenuitive than I am, so I would have liked to have seen it. Good comment over here, Daddy O in the comment section says Rob is entering panic mode way too early. Now I've told y'all my eyes are not what they used to be, and when I glance from here over to the iPad. The iJackpot. Comment section. It was glaring off of it, and it looked like it said Rob is entering penis mode way too early.
Well, maybe you just got penis on the brain, Jack.
No, I don't. But I mean, both can be true, though. Both make sense.
Look, I'm going to turn off my camera for a second. It tells you everything you need to know about South Carolina. Here we go. There you go. That's all you need to know. We'll just leave that up there for a minute. Everything you need to know about South Carolina is right there. For those that are listening on the podcast, go and watch the YouTube video at Carolina Jackpot on YouTube. You should be subscribing.
Yeah.
You should be subscribing. So there's that. Brandon says the same thing. Here's the thing. Brandon's hilarious. South Carolina and Clemson are headed in two different directions right now. This is the same shit he said when Will Muschamp was there. It's the same shit.
Here's the thing. Todd Ellis said it, and Todd Ellis is a great predictor of the future. I think he's got he's probably got one of those Johnny Carson hats, like the little fortune teller hats with the crystal ball. I mean, he said it. It was just 6 years too early. 5.5, if you want to be exact. That Clemson's cycling out, and we're cycling in. He was right. I could see him sitting in the at the stage there with Tommy Suggs sitting beside him. Tommy's handing him the envelopes, and he's just tearing them open and opening them up, reading them. All the young people don't know what I'm talking about, but I bet you Huffer Billy Paul knows what I'm talking about.
B Bean says, hold on, let me read B Bean's comment. B Bean says, I've never seen this type of Rob. Wow. Well, sir, I have to read your comments because you blocked everybody else in the damn chat room.
RAR, Red Ass Rob.
Shit.
Stitchman, the Mizzou fan, says, geez, USC Junior thinks they're winning the national title this year. I mean, it's possible. They just picked Bear Alexander up from Georgia, and from what I understand, Caleb Williams looks pretty damn good. So, yeah, that USC Junior.
Hold on. What the fuck is he talking? Okay.
USC Junior looks pretty good. Marcus Cameron says, I hate we have to go to that shithole to play them this year. Look, man, don't hate on Duke. They do the best they can with that little stadium. Y'all will help them pack it out this year, get them some more money, and they can fix it up a little bit. Don't hate on Duke. Stop that. But maybe he's talking about NC State, too. I know y'all got a little thing with them. Well, y'all dominating them this year, ain't you? You spanked them in basketball 3 times. You spanked them in baseball 3 times. It's kind of like football. You spank NC State.
Hold on, let me add this.
You lose your in-state buddies in those
Cocky
sports.
Talk says Gamecocks will win the SEC East this year. Okay.
That would be amazing if we win the SEC East in the last year of its existence.
Does that make you SEC East champion forever? Since nobody can defeat you, right? That would make
us the last SEC champion. Who's the last real WCW champion? Was it Booker T?
It was Booker T, yeah. So you'd be the Booker T.
Did he win it the last Nitro?
Sure. No, I think he had. I don't remember.
I think he beat Scott Steiner for it on the last Nitro.
All I remember about that was Ric Flair wrestling in a T-shirt because he was too chunky.
He was too embarrassed of his body. He didn't like his physique, so he wrestled Sting.
I mean, apparently, according to Cocky Talk, we're all just living in a world where South Carolina's going to win the East. Ta-da! Which, by the way, after Georgia, is there any team in the East that you feel really, really solid about, Jackpot? I know you love your Gamecocks, but there seems to be questions everywhere. I mean, looking at the stuff there for the East, I don't know.
Not really. I mean, on a serious note, I'm kind of concerned about our defense. I'm concerned about the offensive line. Somewhat concerned about the running game, but I think they'll figure that out. But if they don't get the offensive line thing shored up somehow, then it's going to be a moot point because they're not going to be able to run the ball against anybody with a defense that's worth a crap. That doesn't include week 1, by the way. That's not a good litmus test for being able to play against a good defense. I think Florida's got issues all over the place. I mean, especially at quarterback.
Yep.
Missouri, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I never know any year when we're going in about Missouri.
Is Missouri, Jackpot, is it fair to say that they're kind of like Auburn? They could go 4-8 or they could go 8-4 and and
I don't like that. I kind of like to research them a little bit before I really know what's going on there because people tend to shoehorn them. People in the preseason, the uneducated types, they like to shoehorn Syracuse. They always like to shoehorn them into last place in what was the ACC Atlantic without doing any research on them. And then this past year, I mean, they turned out to be pretty decent, we thought. And then they dropped a bunch of games at the end. And it's the same thing with Mizzou. They like to kind of shoehorn them in to last place, runner-up to Vanderbilt. And, I mean, oftentimes they're better than that. Now, I will say at quarterback, I mean, that could have some issues there. That quarterback that played, he looked good against South Carolina last year, the kid they had. He's not very good, that Brady Cook kid. And they got a Miami castaway, Jacob Garcia or something. I don't really I don't know about it. So
Thomas says, what's the take on Arkansas? Well, with Arkansas, I like their quarterback. He seems like Jefferson seems like he's going to be all right.
He's a beast. They got to rebuild the defense.
Daddy-O says, honestly, what SEC teams get jacked up to play Mizzou? Look, we could say that about the majority of the SEC East. Do you think anybody looks at their schedule and says, wow, we get to play Kentucky this week. We get to play Vanderbilt this week. We get to play Mizzou. Yay! Nobody gets jacked up for that. Nobody does.
Well, who gets jacked up to play NC State and Boston College?
I never said anybody did, sir.
Well, you're throwing rocks at the best.
I'll throw rocks at anything.
Football.
You can look at it from a lot of different perspectives. You don't get jacked up to play anyone, to be honest with you, unless they're perennial powers. So. Marcus says
said no one is taking USC junior serious this year. I don't know. I heard Oregon is. Oregon, Stanford, and Arizona. They're all shaking their boots.
What about Oregon State? Jackpot. When you get an Oregon
too.
State Uwe Ungalale jersey, if they win the Pac-12, you can run around with that.
I might get one anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Might get one anyway.
TriStar with another dumb comment. Tater Man is just mad that he lost to the two teams that he hates the most. First of all, I don't hate anyone, and you're not relevant enough for me to hate you. So good luck with that.
I thought you were talking about Notre Dame.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Notre Dame loss hurt the way they lost up there. Okay,
we don't care. We don't care.
Very good, Jackpot. All right, with the shrink the schedule thing, I thought we'd get into that really quick.
Brandon says, real quick, Clemson versus Florida State could be a big ACC game this year. All right, look, I am so tired of hearing about and seeing this Florida State hype train. What the hell have they done to? I don't. What have they done to deserve all this hype? Baby, wait. Okay. Okay, if you want to call us beating Clemson last year a fluke, fine. Their win against LSU was a fluke. LSU didn't know how to line up properly for a damn extra point. And that was in Brian Kelly's first game. Look, and to be honest, LSU was all that damn great anyway. What they beat Alabama. That was an upset. That was a good win. Other than that, I mean, they let Tennessee just absolutely slap them silly in their stadium.
Yeah.
I mean and then they say, well, it was because it was a noon game and our fans wasn't riled up. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have gotten waxed like you did. That was embarrassing. They weren't that good. They lost to Texas A&M. So, I mean, I'm not getting that. And then Florida State in the middle of the season, they lose to the three best teams they played on the schedule. They lose to Clemson. They lose to NC State. They lose to Wake Forest right there in a row. And then you get to a bowl game, and they limp to a victory over a terrible Oklahoma team. Terrible.
Well, I can help you with that, Jackpot. What happens is that there is still a great bunch of Florida State fans that are back from the days when they had Peter Warwick and all those guys, throwing a ball all over the place, and Bobby Bowden, dadgummit everybody. They have a bunch of fans that are still up for that, and they still buy into the hype machine that's there, that puts them out there, that makes them think that they're just this wonderful, great program.
Well, I think that the national media wants Florida State to be good and relevant again because they want somebody else in an ACC to challenge Clemson. I mean, to make things more competitive over there. And I know you got North Carolina over there, but I mean, come on, does anybody really look at them as a serious contender for the playoffs?
I think there's a bigger, there may be some of that, but I think there's a bigger line of Miami needs to get their shit together. I mean, I
don't think they're ever going to be back to what they were. I think the U is dead.
I don't either.
Dead.
So
I don't think they've got the administration or the athletic department. I think they just don't give a damn about football.
Isn't it strange that Miami went to the Final Four this year in hoops, and you can make the argument that their hoops team is more relevant than their fucking football team? Growing up, they are. Yeah. Growing up, you never would have thought that.
They absolutely are. Well, hell, growing up, look, I remember in the early to mid 80s, I remember Miami didn't have a basketball team till like 1986 or 87. They had abolished the program for a long number of years. They just brought it back.
Yeah.
Because the Gamecocks played in a tournament there in like 87 or 88. And I remember that Bob Fulton and them talking about that on the radio, that this was, that Miami had resurrected their program. And we beat them by like 30. They weren't very good, obviously.
Uncle Lou bringing some logic to the program here, talking to Cocky Talk. He says UGA will beat you by 4 touchdowns, though. Cry. Yep. I mean, might happen.
That remains to be seen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, 20
Hockey Talk,
to 17 happened a few years ago down there, and they seem
Hockey Talk
to get
says,
that
why
way.
is everyone overlooking the fact that UGA has a new quarterback, OC, and DC? Well, first of all, let's put this into perspective. Kirby Smart's pretty much running the defense, I would venture to say. I don't know how much he has
Yeah,
as far
they
as
don't have
the
a new
offense goes.
defensive coordinator, do they?
No, they've got, Muschamp's down there. I mean, that's
Muschamp, and then they've got that other guy that's the actual defensive
right.
coordinator. Or they're
I would be
co-DCs or whatever.
I would be, if I were a Georgia fan, I wouldn't even be upset about the quarterbacks because you've got quarterback talent there, according to whatever. I would be upset about Mike
Carson
Bobo,
Beck's
though.
pretty good. He's pretty good. I think he's probably,
Yeah.
he's probably got more inherent talent, quarterback talent than what Stetson Bennett had.
You have to trust Kirby Smart because the guy's won national titles and he's proven that he's a great coach. You have to trust in him that he thinks that Mike Bobo is going to keep that offense where it was and for them to have the ability to go out and get that third championship. But for me personally, I think Mike Bobo's a fucking clown. And I think most Georgia fans
we can agree on
probably
that.
feel that way. I mean, I just remember Todd Gurley not giving him the ball against South Carolina. You stop giving Todd Gurley the ball. The Gamecocks couldn't stop a wet fart, and you stop giving Todd Gurley the ball. And that Mike Bobo's behind that because he was thinking that, I'm just going to be smarter than everybody else. No, dum-dum, you give Todd Gurley the ball. He's one of the best running backs in probably the history of college football. We're not going to give him the ball because we're going to try to be smarter.
From what I understand,
South Carolina defensive coordinator.
What I understand, he told Mike Bobo he didn't want the ball. He was
tired.
He was tired of running into the teeth of that Lorenzo Ward defense.
I mean, the defense where Brad Law. Never mind. Damn it, jackpot.
Whammy Ward defense.
But, Jesus. Anyway, to the strength of schedule stuff really quick here. I don't trust Bobo. If you're asking me to trust Bobo, good luck with all that because I'm not. I don't trust Mike Bobo at all. Strength of schedule stuff. This is from 247 Sports. We'll do the top 10 here. I'll do the top 5. Actually, we'll just look at Kentucky's got the 11th toughest schedule. Are you buying that, jackpot? I mean, Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Akron. That's how they start the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got the SEC schedule. Who they have Alabama on their schedule, right?
So they've got Vanderbilt away, Florida at home, Georgia away, Missouri at home, Tennessee at home, Mississippi State away. They play Alabama at home, South Carolina away, and Louisville away.
That's what's driving that strength of schedule, that Alabama game, and playing South Carolina on the road.
Jesus Christ. Let's give you another one here. Ohio State apparently has the 9th toughest schedule with Indiana. Yep. And this is like Phil Steele's composite, by the way. Indiana, Youngstown State, Western Kentucky, Notre Dame, Maryland, Purdue, Penn State, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan State, Minnesota, and Michigan.
Yeah, they open up at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they open up at Notre Dame, and Michigan game is where this year? I don't know.
I think it's at Michigan.
Yeah,
no,
that's a playoff team. So yeah, I mean, I could buy that. That's a tough. I mean, anything you play in Penn State, Michigan, and that bunch, and then you got Notre Dame on the road. Which, I mean, that can be tough. That's tough.
All right, so then we've got. Let's see here. The Florida Gators have the 6th toughest schedule. I think this is fueled by the fact that they go to Utah to start the season.
Yeah.
So the rest of the schedule is not very impressive, in my opinion.
Newsflash: I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked if I fall out if they found a way to win that ball game. I don't see that.
We felt the same way about when Utah came down there. You and I both said we thought that Utah was going to mouth pump them. Both of us did at one point. So,
and then looking at the results of the team at the end of the year, one would have thought, sight unseen, not knowing what happened, you would have thought that they did. But that's just insane.
Let's see here. Number 1 on the list, jackpot, is your South Carolina Gamecocks. I think this is fueled by the fact that you played North Carolina and Clemson.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Exactly what it is. You also have Charlotte. You have Furman, Georgia, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Florida at home, Missouri on the road, A&M on the road, Jacksonville State. That's the battle of the cock right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm labeling that game the battle of the cock. We'll see who's got the biggest cock that day. Vanderbilt and Kentucky, and then Clemson, of course, to wrap up the season there.
And that road game at Mizzou's driving the strength of schedule on that. Yeah, and then bookending it with the ACC championship game, winner and runner-up is definitely.
Yeah, so there's that, and this is, of course, from the composite there. I never really look at strength of schedule as something that you don't really know how strong your schedule is until the season is up. And a perfect example, and this pisses off the SEC homers so bad. Everyone and their brother was like, "My God, Texas A&M is going to be great, going to be great." Appalachian State whipped that ass. So there's that. So the idea that you could look at a schedule and say, man, this is going to be a tough schedule because X team here, doesn't really matter.
Well, here's the thing. They're usually – Texas A&M is disappointing every year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're usually disappointing as like a 7-8 win team. Last year they were disappointing as a 5-win team. So, I mean, do you look – why does anybody look for them to have some kind of breakout year?
I don't know, man.
Some people have them as playoff contenders. Give me a break.
B-Bean says Clemson always has easy schedules. No, sir. Clemson does not always have an easy schedule. When you go to the end of the season, most seasons, Clemson plays the same amount of teams that end up ranked in the top 25 at the end of the year that South Carolina does. Cry about that.
Yeah, they got to rank those shithole ACC teams for.
Okay. So yeah, after they stop sucking SEC dick forever, they realize, man, maybe we should have some journalistic integrity and actually rank the teams correctly after they've had a good season.
No, they throw them a bone. It's okay. We'll put Wake.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should be ashamed of ourselves for putting.
We'll throw them a bone and put Wake Forest in here 14,
4-win team,
even though they're really like 40.
4-win Texas A&M team into the top 5. If you voted, they got number 1 votes last year. Texas A&M did. And what happened? They ended up being a shithole.
I mean, I don't agree with it either, but.
Daddy-O's got a good question here. He goes, what about DJ shitting on Dabo's offense being too vanilla for his skills?
Well,
he put out there that he wanted to be in a more pro-type system.
Well, he probably should have performed a little bit better. I mean, I don't know that I would have put that there because he did look like garbage. But
there were games. I mean, there were some games where it was like, holy crap with all that. But he did say something
did look
else
bad.
too.
There were some times it didn't look like he was trying.
So we're doing something a little bit different tonight. If you want to join the show, we put the link. It's actually in the description there. So
it's down in the description box below, and I've tried to copy and paste it so that I could put it in the.
I'll put it in the comment section. I can do that.
Put it in the comment section. For some reason, every time I try to put my finger on it to highlight it to copy it, it won't let me do that. It's freaking trying to go to some other website somewhere else and just making me mad, kind of like I was getting last week. So,
all right. So the first one is Lou is going to join us here. There you go. I just put the link into there. Let's go and we'll add Lou to the stream. Hello, Lou. How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Well, that sounds great.
Good. Georgia's opponents last year had the highest winning percentage of any team's opponents in the entire country. Google is your friend. Have a great day.
All right. And none of that matters, sir, when you have a 6-win team that puts you at 50%. So you had teams that didn't finish below 50% on the winning schedule there. Doesn't really show much.
Brad Twig says, jackpot, do you smoke weed? Me and Jim Ross call it chocolate cake.
Shit, chocolate cake.
I take a chocolate cake break.
Sir Uga joins us now. What you got for the program, sir?
Wow, 2 Georgia callers back to back, huh?
I know, right?
Yeah,
awesome.
this isn't football related or anything, but I just want to ask if Rob is coming to next year's Slob Olympics.
It's too far away to plan out for that.
No.
What's the date on it, brother?
It's March 1st through 3rd, 2024.
All right, we'll work on that.
I think we can build up a little cash app fund there to take care of your babysitting fees.
I don't need. I mean, my kids are almost grown. My daughter's over here. Well,
last time they had to be watched, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my son, we have to watch him all the time. But
what do you think, Jackpot? I just hear a bunch of excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Panama City. Hey, Rob, it's in Panama City, so you can actually do a boat show that weekend.
You could take the boat show on the road.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Inshore fishing. All right, fellas. Well, I'm just calling to give you a hard time.
I would like to attend. Let's just leave it at that.
I know you would. We would really enjoy it.
I really, really would. There's a lot of you folks that I would like to shake hands with, and I mean it's
Rob.
I mean there's a good bit of you that I really, really would like to chat with. So
we'd love to see you there, Rob. And I will just promise you one thing: I will try to call every week and remind you of that.
I'll put it on my calendar.
Please
now.
do.
So.
I mean,
I will. I love you. I love you two guys, and go Dogs.
Have a good
night. Go Cox.
All right, let's go with VicTube.
Look at that. How about 3 UGA callers in a row, just like what George is gonna do this year. So
hey, there you go. I like that positive thinking.
Yeah, but anyway, so I went to the Georgia Spring game, and I had a good time. But anyway, it looks like Carson Beck is going to be our quarterback, and he looked really good. So I guess the rest of the SEC, I'll better watch out. So,
do you think he'll be as good as Joe Milton?
As good as Joe Milton? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think he'll probably be. Probably
so. I would think UGA's offensive line are probably head and shoulders better than Tennessee.
Hey, is that your benchmark there? We just want to be better than Joe Milton. Come on, man.
Be better than Joe Milton.
You won 2 national titles, and you're worried about being better than Joe Milton.
Worried about Joe,
man.
Come on.
All right, man. Well, hey, Big Two, thanks for checking in, buddy.
All right, thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah.
All right, see you later. All right, let's see here. Next, we're going to bring in TriStar. Hello. Look, is his I don't know if his frame is frozen there or
no.
Okay.
No,
right.
it's not frozen. But
sure.
I'll say this. Let's do it. Let's all do a favor. Let's laugh at Alabama's offense because that was hot garbage.
So you think? Let's put this into perspective for a second. You think that Alabama offense is going to be that bad based on just a spring game?
Well, here's the thing. I was expecting at least a little bit of improvement with Milroe.
Yeah, there you go. You're right.
With Milroe. And he was still overthrowing guys bad. I mean, this guy makes Anthony Richardson look like Peyton Manning.
Anthony Richardson's going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, first of all.
But that's all. The only reason he's even possibly a top 10 pick is because of his physical intangibles, not off of throwing ability or anything like that.
All right. So what we'll do is that we'll just say, your top physical intangibles, none of those matter.
Well, they are tangibles. right?
Yeah, that is tangible. Very good, Jackpot.
They are tangibles, right? Because
How about his physical talent? We'll go with
size,
that.
his physical
talent.
Well, the thing with him is he had them physical tools at Florida, and he didn't really impress a whole lot of people.
I mean,
if you can't do it in college, I mean,
he had one good game against Utah,
sure,
and that's the thing. I mean, you know,
he played pretty well against Tennessee. It's just
I mean, he did, but you know, still didn't win. But
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, like I said, and not only that, the wide receivers still have Butterfingers.
Once again, it's a spring game, sir.
Okay, but then I don't want to hear Alabama fans talking about, oh, look how great our defense was. Look, Kevin Steele solved the problems.
Look, Alabama will have a. I'm willing to bet.
I think it's funny that Tennessee beat Alabama for the first time since TV started being flat screen. And they're all talking all this shit.
Well, here's the thing.
They're the most ludicrous fan base on
throw
earth.
stones when you live in a glass house. Because correct me if I'm wrong. What did you say, Rob? Where a guy put on his house about 31-30, and they're bragging about that shit like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
you guys ripped the fucking goalpost out of the ground and threw it into the fucking river, and you're gonna mock that?
Whenever you get shit stomped by your biggest rival for years and years and years, and you finally beat them, you're going to talk a little shit.
No, sir. I think it's more along the lines
we last beat them in 2013. I mean, that's a little different.
That's 10 years.
And we've also beat them 5 years in a row.
But South Carolina has been relevant, sir. Tennessee is not. South Carolina's been relevant. They had fucking 4 or 5 seasons where they won 10+ games.
Listen,
no, I'm talking about relevancy, sir.
Listen, I'm not making excuses. This is why we lost because a locker room problem. No, South Carolina punched us in the mouth. They did. I'm not taking that away from them. They played a great game. That's the first.
You're not listening to me, sir. I'm talking about the relevancy of your program. You've been this shit
right now,
for over a decade, sir.
I'm making sure I hear this correctly. I'm not dead.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm making sure. So you're saying right now, and what is today? April, was it 23rd? Of 2000 in the year of our Lord 2023. You are saying right now, in front of God and everybody on God's green earth, in the words of Lay Harley Race, you are saying that South Carolina right now is more relevant than Tennessee.
They've been more relevant than Tennessee.
They've been more relevant. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
You had the spur your
You've been terrible. You had one good year, sir, and you've been the shits. You lost every conference game like 5 seasons ago.
Okay. 5 years ago. Why you bring it? Okay. I mean, that's like me saying, well, you guys were lucky because of the fact that all your top players, Amari Rodgers, T. Higgins, Trevor Lawrence, all those guys, Taj Boyd, they all wanted to go to Tennessee.
That's not my problem.
But because Tennessee was in a shitstorm for 15
tell me why that's my problem.
Going to the Tater Man.
Well, tell me why that's my problem.
They
sir.
didn't want to play
and
for
here's
the life
the thing.
champion.
You also cheated.
Didn't want to play for shit
you were
coaches.
the most sanctioned program in the conference,
the most
sanctioned
program kicked the shit out of you in the Orange Bowl. But that game don't count.
None of those guys.
We didn't care.
We've talked about that.
Good God, I wish we came down to Memorial Stadium. Literally, hey, listen, if we played Clemson there in that little septic tank of a stadium y'all got, would y'all let us meet at the Paul with you?
Sir, once again, you don't know anything about tradition other than Peyton Manning dropping his nuts on a trip.
Who's got more national championships? Who's got more all-time wins? Who's got more All-Americans?
Can you watch your
septic tank?
Zip it, sir. Can you watch your last national championship in HD? Probably not. Go away. Let's bring Cocky Talk into the program here. Welcome to the program, sir.
Man, the only thing Tennessee known for was McDonald's bag and injuring Marcus Lattimore. That's the only thing they known for.
Oh, hold on now. The whole Marcus Lattimore thing, man. That's Jesus.
Yeah, they hurt my boy.
I don't think they did that on purpose. I think that
Why they didn't?
Injury.
He was
You
killing
really
them.
You think that they hurt Marcus Lattimore on purpose?
I think they did.
That's been thrown around there before, Rob.
I would like to think that they're not trying to give a career-ending injury to someone, but
and then you talk about, and then I keep trying to tell you, Georgia losing a quarterback, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator. We just seen Clemson go through it. It ain't work out too good for y'all.
That's fair too, but I think that the one thing that, and I'm not sitting here trying to defend the Georgia folks. They've got Uncle Lou to defend them. They don't really need anything. He just sits there and types out facts and then types cry, 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 and it works for him.
I can't stand Uncle Lou.
Well, because Uncle Lou hits you with a lot of facts with some stuff, and it does hurt.
Yeah, it's facts, but they don't play nobody.
My favorite Uncle Lou moment was when they were going to win the national title, and Stetson Bennett had to make this great throw for them to get the national championship win. And Uncle Lou's losing his shit about he's not going to make this throw, and then he makes the throw.
Man, listen.
And Uncle Lou has to spin like a damn washing machine to go back to the Stetson Bennett train.
Uncle Lou think Georgia gonna go undefeated for the next 30 years if you let him tell it. You sit here and listen to Uncle Lou. Georgia will be the next undefeated champions for the next 30 years. Uncle Lou, you're not on Alabama level yet, sir. Sorry.
Look, Alabama's gone and losing to a shithole Tennessee team, so that's how Georgia fans look at that.
Yeah, they can look at it like that all they want to, but if I gotta put history up against it, I'm taking my money on Alabama. It ain't on Georgia. When the last time Georgia ain't have a quarterback since Matthew Stafford?
They didn't need one. They won with a fucking midget. They won the national. They don't need a quarterback, sir. Not in that offense.
Not in that offense, but Tom Munkin gone now. I seen Mike Bobo up close and personally.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think that if you were watching earlier, I said
you keep saying, "Oh, the defense gonna be great. The defense gonna be great." Not when you're down fucking 21 points when you're going on the field.
That's true.
I know what Mike Bobo gonna do. The same thing he did at Colorado, same thing he did at South Carolina, same thing he tried to do at Auburn. He should have just stayed and took the job when Shane Beamer offered it to him. But I'm kind of glad he don't. He did it.
Bulldog JC says, "Bless your heart."
Kind of glad it. I'm glad he left. So
yeah.
TriStar's upset. He sent in the private chat. Tater Man is mad because they're mimicking the gimmick, and we didn't hurt Marcus Lattimore.
And then Cade Klubnik won't win one game against South Carolina in his whole career. I can promise you that.
That's a ballsy statement.
That's a fact.
I can promise you that. And I bet Antonio Williams kind of sad right now. He ain't coming to South Carolina, but it's all good.
That's a fact too.
Why would he want to go to South Carolina and get?
Well, I guess I could rope him into that boat too of never winning the game against South Carolina because he won't either.
There you go.
Well, if Clemson just slips up and wins at Williams-Brice like they do the majority of the time that they go there, I hope that you join us on the show and come in and take your medicine, sir.
Listen, you won't win. The same way y'all won them 7 games, we can win we can go on our streak also, right?
That's right. Done it before.
But sure.
Hey, because before those 2 quarterbacks, you ain't really had nothing since the 80s, bruh.
That's not true, sir. Clemson had more bowl wins from 1981 until now.
We're not talking about bowl wins. Clemson is a perennial powerhouse, right? We talk about national championships.
Sir,
we're not talking about bowl wins, right?
They also won conference titles. They had like 5 conference titles since 1981. So,
hey, Jackpot, you let them Clemson fans tell it don't nothing matter but the national championship, the ACC championship, and these other games ain't nothing but another game on their schedule that they got to play. Let them tell it don't nothing matter but the national championship. So I'm talking what y'all say. Don't rope us lowly South Carolina fans. We're the ones who talk about bowl games and that sort of things.
Right.
Y'all talk about national championships, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
You also talk about women's hoops, which is what you're good at.
Huh?
You also talk about women's hoops, which is what you're good at.
Don't hate because we're good at every other sports and y'all not.
There we go.
We can't help that our university actually that actually funds other sports other than football. Who want to come up there to Clemson? I'm from Columbia. I know it ain't nothing up there, bro. Trust me. So, and I'm living in Georgia now. So ain't nothing up there, bro. But a Waffle House.
Jackpot and some chips.
Jackpot. I ain't talking about you. But man, what's outside them gates of Clemson, South Carolina, man? But that little raggedy town.
Nothing. It's a couple of trailers, like I said, Waffle House. I think they got Ingles up there now.
Hey man, I ate at that Waffle House. I seen a roach crawling up the ceiling. I hurry up and left.
All right, sir. Well, we
see you later.
That roach ran down the hill.
2024 SEC champions, Gamecocks.
God, this is going to be great to have later on.
BVD says this is how we're doing Collins. Yes, we switched over, and I like this.
Do you want to bring Jackpot likes this better than the phones? Do you want to bring?
I like it. I mean, you can hear him so much better. I think.
Okay.
I from my end, I don't know about you guys over there in the chat. How you feel about that?
That's fine. That's fine. We can do it like this now if you want to go that route. Do you want to bring TriStar back on or not?
Absolutely. Well, I mean he's
welcome back to the program, TriStar. TriStar, what the hell is that? Is that a bag of dead hookers behind you? What is that?
No, this is my truck. I am a truck driver, sir.
Well, congratulations,
amen, brother. I mean, God bless you.
Now, here's the thing. Listen, I get it. You know, you want to trash on Tennessee, Tater Man, but yet y'all are the ones trying to mimic our offense. You know, mimic the gimmick. You're welcome for that phrase.
Oh, my goodness.
And again, you know, you're mad.
I mean, they haven't taken a snap in the new offense yet with Riley.
Okay,
Riley,
what do you think about that, TriStar? They went through a spring game and didn't run any plays with the new gimmick offense because Dabo switched over coordinators like 10 years ago, and he didn't let him call plays in the spring game. So he decided in 2023 that was a great idea again. I mean, how dumb? I mean, why even have the thing?
Yeah. That's starting to sound like Nick Saban a little bit.
Yeah.
Why even have the game? I mean,
exactly. I mean, here's my thing. And listen, so here's the thing. South Carolina's getting better. Clemson's getting worse. No, that's a fact.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at BVD. He says, this guy looks like a young BVD with no muscles. God damn it, BVD.
BVD, I love you.
Of course you do. You guys all get together with that crooked ass tee and hang up on it and sing Rocky Top and
hey, at least we ain't got
around a batch of fluoride.
Hey, at least we ain't got a bunch of. Hey, at least our stadium's in a nice city like Knoxville, Tennessee. It's not in some rundown.
Knoxville's not a nice city. It's a fucking shithole. No one wants to go there.
Knoxville's
no one
wants
to go to Knoxville. Sure.
Who the hell wants to go to Clemson, South Carolina? I've been to that Waffle House there. It sucks. And not only that. How is it you got this big, giant 80,000 seat stadium, and then right across the street you got these rundown trailers that looks like they cook meth in it?
Let's see here. Nature Boy says Knoxville's a dump. I mean, we're gonna badmouth the Nature Boy here.
We got the mountains out there. I mean, you know, it's God's country. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's a great East Tennessee's a great place.
All right, TriStar.
Yes.
There's too many Yankees moving into it, from what I understand.
We have to move on.
No,
but you're always welcome to call the program, sir.
Oh.
Well, I don't know, but have fun mimicking or gimmick. Fuck the Tater Man.
Have a great day, sir. I am honored to bring the next man on the show here. One of my favorites, of course, Mr. BVD joins us here with his black hat. I like the black hat, so I mean, I wouldn't wear that hat, but that is a nice looking hat, brother.
Well,
Why wouldn't you wear it? It's freaking gorgeous, Rob. I mean,
Why are
come
you
on.
over there having an orgasm over his black hat? You haven't said shit about mine.
Because I need two of your hats, Jackpot. One to shit in and the other to cover it up with.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
It's fine on its own.
That's rough. Now, hell, I had to shut my show down because you guys came on, so I figured I'm going to come over here.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, dude, I'm just joking. You guys do your thing.
I watch replays of your show, and you know, you are one of my favorite people to follow around here on YouTube. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I enjoy you guys too. That's why I try and come in here when I get a chance. But no, everybody says that I was just fucking with TriStar. I like TriStar. Everybody was telling me I'd never seen him before the other night when he came on my show. It's the first time I'd ever seen him. They're like, BBD, you got to see this TriStar guy. He looks just like a young you. And lo and behold, he does look like a younger, more handsome version of myself. And he has teeth. So damn. I mean,
that sounds like when somebody told Ole Anderson, hey, you need to take a look at this kid who looks just like you. And it turned out that kid was Arn Anderson.
Wait, what?
He's talking above my pay grade, Rob. I never did like wrestling.
How the fuck can you live in Tennessee, sir, and you not like wrestling?
I spent most of my growing up years in Ohio and Raleigh, so maybe that. I remember.
Wait, if you were in Raleigh, North Carolina, that is motherfucking Flair country. I mean,
okay,
if you're there, you got to have a damn. I mean, it's either a Ric Flair tramp stamp or, in all actuality, there's a good chance that someone that you know probably slept with Ric Flair if you lived in Raleigh.
That's possible.
That probably happened.
The first wrestler, and tell me, I know you guys will remember his name because you obviously watch wrestling.
Sure.
The first wrestler I ever remember was my dad loved this guy, Blackjack Mulligan.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? My wife last week, and this is real. She took the kids down to Disney World, right? I get a message from her, and it says, I rode Space Mountain, and I shit you not, the first thing that came to my head was, did she find fucking Ric Flair?
Is that where Ric Flair's from?
In my head. Holy shit, she found Ric Flair.
Is he from Raleigh?
No, he's from anywhere. Raleigh is Flair country, sir, if you ask him. So,
okay.
They wrestled there a lot. He's actually from Charlotte, right? Is he still there?
Rob, no, he's from the Midwest. I don't know where the fuck he is now.
He's from Minnesota. Does he still live in Charlotte, North Carolina? That's where he's lived at, or he was for years.
I don't know. I thought with last week that my wife found him because she said she rode Space Mountain.
Yeah, if you've ever listened to any of those podcasts that he's doing right now, he sounds like he's freaking wasted.
Oh, he probably is.
We got a D. Taylor says he'll cash app someone $500 right now if they get a Ric Flair tramp stamp. Okay, then.
Why don't you just go ahead and cash app these guys $500 and trust them that they'll do it?
Yeah, there you go.
I will. I'll do a tattoo bet with Jackpot for the South Carolina Clemson game. He's got balls. I'll do a tattoo bet with you, Jackpot, for the South Carolina Clemson game if you got the balls.
A tattoo bet?
Yeah. If South Carolina wins, I'll get a Gamecock tattoo.
Oh my God, dude! You gotta take that.
No, you'll do some cheesy shit.
No,
like
I swear, look,
sticker face tattoo or something.
No, sir. I will get the Block C tattooed on my left leg, and you can do the design for it. I'll have it tattooed on my left leg. Now, but if Clemson wins, then we're going to tattoo a Clemson Tiger paw on your left leg.
No,
you
fuck
got
that.
The balls to do that? Yeah, I fuck that too, because you know what's going to happen.
No, because on the off chance that you get some kind of fluke win or something, that's
no, it's not a fluke win. We win the majority of the time we play. I'm telling you, I have the balls to do it. Now, if you don't have any balls, you want to be a eunuch, you want to be a Ken doll, you pull down your pants and it's a smooth surface, that's fine.
Nah, there ain't none of that going on there, but I ain't doing it. I'm taking that.
How about that same bet with me then, Jackpot?
Yeah.
What's up?
You want to go that route with Tennessee?
No, we'll do milk and eggs dumped over my head again, but I sure ain't doing that.
We'll come up with something.
That actually was kind of fun.
We'll come up with something.
You look like a bad batch of pancakes.
That was rough, but
maybe we'll do eggs next year, Jackpot, or this season.
Sir Uga asked what happened to my tank tops. I just didn't take my shirt off when we did the show here. So there's that. Lisa says tattoo your balls. Oh, God. Tattoo your balls. I'm not doing all that. I'm not tattooing balls. Sorry. I put it out there and Jackpot's yellow.
Highlight that comment, or I'll just read it.
Jackpot's yellow?
No, from Brock.
Oh.
The broccoli comment.
Let me read Brock's comment here. Let's see here. Brock says, considering someone got a Heupel tattoo on his leg when Tennessee beat Bama, would BBD get a Heupel tramp stamp if Heupel got Tennessee a national title?
You goddamn right I would. Absolutely. And by the way, the dude he's talking about, you know what the guy's name is on Twitter? What? Big Vol Daddy.
You need to sue him for trademark infringement, sir. He stole your gimmick.
I tweeted him, and said there's only one Big Vol Daddy, but he was man enough to get he was man or stupid enough to get a Josh Heupel tattoo on his leg.
You need to Google Stephen P. New, right, Jackpot? So you can
That's sue. It. Whenever you need to sue, call Stephen P. New.
Exactly. The guy.
What is the Malik Foreman comment? Somebody's asking me if I remember the Malik Foreman comment.
Where the Malik Foreman comment? I don't see that up there. Sorry. Looking for it, but I don't see it. Sorry about that.
If somebody could guarantee Tennessee a natty, I'd get any kind of tattoo tramp stamp they wanted, because that you can cover that shit up.
Would you go with the Mike Tyson face tattoo?
No.
So we're not going to go that far.
No.
Mike Tyson, when he got that face, the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, well, it's Mike Tyson. So
I mean, it's normal now for like a lot of crazy people and tribal people, but I mean, your average everyday Joe walking around don't have a tattoo on their face because they got more fucking sense than that. Excuse my language.
Devin says Heupel could bang his wife if he won a natty. Jesus.
I would offer that same thing, because my wife lives about 35 minutes from me, so she'd probably appreciate that, actually. Who's got a better chance of winning the natty this year, Rob? Tennessee or South Carolina? I know the answer. I just
are we talking? We're talking women's hoops. What are we talking about here?
You know what we're talking about. Okay, who's got a better chance of winning the natty this year in football, Clemson or Tennessee?
I don't think either team's going to be in the conversation.
Well, they may not, but that wasn't the question.
Rob needs to learn about context.
I'll get back to you on that, because I really don't. There's so many questions about either team, to be honest with you.
Round robin.
Like, it's really hard for me to sit here and say that Tennessee's going to be outstanding, because I don't know how good Joe Milton's going to be.
Oh, no,
Clemson has an easier path.
I mean,
I think Tennessee and Clemson both have probably the same number of question marks as far as even making the playoffs go. I mean, you guys most likely are going to have a better defense than us, but we really don't even know that, because we don't know how good our youngsters are going to play. I know one thing.
In fairness, I can discuss this with you because you're a logical Tennessee fan. With the offense that you run, where you're trying to score as much as possible, your defense could be shitty in theory, because you maybe wore out come the third quarter. I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah, it's a fair statement. But that's the thing is, and I like to use the Kentucky game as reference. Tennessee doesn't play 1,000 miles an hour the entire game. If you go back and watch the Kentucky game last year, they had a couple of drives in the second half that were intentionally slowed down. because they built a big enough lead and they were basically just killing the clock. I think they had one drive that was 7 or 8 minutes long. And then if I'm not mistaken, my memory sucks, but I think they closed out the game with a long drive like that. So it's not Tennessee doesn't want to go 1,000 miles an hour the entire game.
Yeah, and
That's just a common misconception.
I get you on that, but in reality, I think if Heupel had it his way, he'd want to score as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if coaches had their way, they'd want to score 100 every game and the other team not score anything.
Yeah.
But, I think if Heupel had his way, he would like to have 3 or 4 players deep on defense, so it wouldn't matter how fast his offense scores. That's the hope, and he's never been anywhere yet as a head coach to where he could build something like that. You can't build something like that at UCF, and he's got a shot at doing that at Tennessee. He's bringing in some great defensive players. Whether they can play or not, we'll just have to see.
They have been recruiting better on the defensive side of the ball, and that's good because they need it.
Got a couple of good portal players too. The Peely kid from
good Porter players,
huh?
Good Porter players.
Yeah, I said Porter, but then I corrected myself. Sorry, Jackpot. I'm not like you. I don't correctly enunciate every word of mine, Tater Man.
Oh,
got two Tater Men on here with me tonight. One that lives them and one that sells them or delivers them.
There you go.
Hey, Utz is some good tater chips, though. I'll give you that.
See, the people in Tennessee know. They know all about it.
Behind Uncle Ray's.
I never had them before.
I don't know how big of a brand they are. Like, I don't know. Are they national?
That's not something that gets delivered. That's not a DSD company. Those are the ones, some of the convenience stores, they just order them. And so, yeah, I see them out in a few places.
The problem with Uncle Ray's, Jackpot, is like my favorite chip is barbecue. You might get 3 or 4 bags of barbecue chips in a row that just like are peppered with it, tons of barbecue on it. And then you'll get a bag that doesn't have any. Yeah. I don't know. I don't make tater chips, so I don't know how that works, but
is there something wrong with their equipment?
Yeah, it's always been like that.
Jackpot, did you get to tour the tater chip factory?
No, I've never toured a tater chip factory.
I'm just wondering. I mean, if I were, I'd want to do that. I want to see how the chips are made. My God,
I know up there in Pennsylvania that Utz does let people tour the factory. To a certain degree, I've seen it on YouTube. But
there's probably Utz upper echelon employees walking around asking the other Utz employees, "Hey, have you got to tour the Jackpot factory?" And they're all going, "No,
they probably are."
I've seen him, but I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll leave and so somebody else can join. Or,
hey man, we always appreciate you, sir. You're always welcome here. You know that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys too. Enjoy watching both of you. I'm not going to shoot you the bird like TriStar did because I, unlike that truck driver,
well, you got class.
Have a little bit of class.
Yeah, you have class. By God,
I've got more class than I've got teeth. Nobody's going to argue that. By God. You guys have a good one, man. Have a good Sunday night and a good work week ahead.
Dude. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Cocky Talk joins us again here, Jackpot. All right, Cocky Talk. What do you got for the show, man?
Hey, what was the last call? Tennessee man, BVD, whatever it was. He say
show some respect to BVD, sir. He is a very classy gentleman.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out his name. I see Tennessee in the background, so that's why I said that. But
you should be subscribed to his channel, sir. His YouTube channel. Go and find it.
Oh, okay. Definitely, I check him out. But I'm a Gamecock man, but I'll check him out. But he say Tennessee might have a better defense or have a on-par defense with Clemson. Man, that's crazy, man. Ain't no way. Yeah, you getting the recruits, but it's gonna take a couple years to get them boys in there and get that system turned around. You ain't changing that overnight.
Well, he has to, he has his opinion on that. I'm not going to be disrespectful to him. So, I mean,
no, not at all.
He's going to be solid. Look,
I'm giving my opinion as a fan.
There are people out there that I mean, there's still people out there that aren't on the Spencer Rattler train. They're like, I mean, I've seen some message boards where they want the Sellers kid to play more or have an opportunity to get out there.
Yeah, he do look good. He do look good, but
it's a spring game.
We done got Spencer. Why not? I mean, he here. Why not let him ride it out? He ain't give you no reason to not let him play.
Yeah, well,
he ain't leave you with a sour taste in your mouth. So what's the point of throwing Lenoris out there to the wolves this early? There's no point of that.
Yeah,
I could see if we was still in the Muschamp days, and I'm sorry, but Luke Doty is not an SEC caliber quarterback to me. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean.
You know what? The coaching staff has pretty much told him that by his place on the depth chart.
Yeah.
So he had so who's moved up to number 2?
I mean, I'm not a quarterback coach, but if Shane Beamer was paying me a consultant fee, I would and maybe Jackpot could help me with this. I mean, I would say Sellers right now would be your number 2. Would you go that route, Jackpot?
Yeah, he definitely looks the part.
I mean, I'd feel more confident if you told me, look, Spencer Rattler tweaked his ankle or whatever, took a big hit, needs some time out. I think that Sellers, you can put him in there, and I think you've got a better chance of him guiding you to a win than Doty.
My fear is these quarterbacks start to go ahead and hit the transfer portal now after they see him being moved up to the number 2. Because I still want to see Lenoris and Tanner Bailey battle it out.
But behind Sellers, though, if the coaches are like, look, we've got our 1 and we've got our 2. I mean, your third string guy doesn't get in there very often. Let him go somewhere else. It just happens. Look,
so you think Tanner Bailey is just number 3?
Well, at Florida, they had Tim Tebow and Cam Newton on the same team. I mean, you recruit to get all these guys in there, and if guys want to leave, they leave. That's just the way that it is now. Only
one quarterback can be on the field at the time.
Exactly.
Unless you DeCarrion Joyner.
I mean, that guy, he.
I love what he do for the program.
Well, and but here's the thing with him. He could have went somewhere else and played quarterback. He could have went to a Furman, a Coastal, something like that, and probably played quarterback and probably been pretty good. But he wanted to be a Gamecock, so fans got to respect him for that.
Yep, but that's all I wanted to leave you with.
Thank you, Cocky Talk. You have a great night. All right, Jackpot. Seems like we've had a pretty good show, my friend.
It's been a great show. This is like top 5 of this year so far. What do you say? Did you agree with that?
I mean, it's the best show ever for April 23rd.
Well, I can't argue that.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate you guys as always. Be sure to check out Big Barney Ross's bourbon review on robandkaleshow.com, where he talks about Due West, not Due West, South Carolina, Due West, the bourbon.
Due West, South Carolina, home of Erskine and Dixie High School.
Yeah, Dixie High School. All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you later on.